Good evening. My name is Felicia Dixon, and I will be doing my presentation on cyberbullying, how to, how to recognize it and how to prevent it. Cyberbullying is relatively new. It's a new form of bullying that came about uh, when I guess technology got very popular. Back in 2004, there was a movie called Mean Girls, and if you remember, they did everything in a notebook. So, cyberbullying is relatively new, and it takes place over digital devices and tablets and laptops and that sort of thing. And they've really cracked down on cyberbullying like regular bullying, but cyberbullying is much easier to do. Um, what is cyberbullying? It can include like malicious texts or emails, posting defamatory pictures and messages, what you young people call exposing is really bullying, or using somebody else's name to spread rumors and lies about someone, like creating fake pages and any of that. So threatening to hurt or kill someone, or telling someone to kill themselves. If you remember, there was a case where a woman was actually charged, a young person was actually charged with doing that because the young man killed himself because she told him over and over again over the internet to kill himself. Common places where cyberbullying occurs is social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, any text messages, those kind of things. So cyberbullying is unique because it can happen 24 hours a day. You can be at home, somebody can bully you. It can happen 24 hours a day, and children can't find relief from it. So that's one thing that makes it unique. The fact that it's permanent, because whatever you put on the internet is always out on the internet, that's another thing that makes it unique, because bullying somebody, just bullying them regularly, is not permanent. And it's hard to notice. So children tend to hang in cliques, and they don't always tell teachers what's going on. So it's very hard to know that it's happening. How can you recognize cyberbullying? It's essential that teachers are always aware and on the lookout for signs of cyberbullying, because they can lead to depression, which teenagers are usually depressed at some point anyway. That's what makes it hard. Anxiety. Victims may struggle to make friends. Small conflicts can escalate as students misunderstand something that someone said on the internet about them. And then if you see signs of sudden decreased academic performance, that's a sign. Unexplained anger, that's another sign. The effects of cyberbullying. Anyone, like normally, if we break up with a boyfriend or have a disagreement with a friend, everybody doesn't know about it. But with cyberbullying, it's public record. They make fun of you, and they celebrate your failures and your embarrassing moments. And it's public record, so whatever you say or do, like even the bully, colleges look at your social media presence, and these things can follow you for life. And the internet people who use the internet to express themselves in negative ways, they don't really know about conflict resolution or how to, reconcile conflict. And bullies have like a false sense of, I can do anything sitting behind this keyboard. So that's another issue, because cyberbullying affects the the person that's being bullied, but it also affects the person that's bullying. Here's some statistics. Girls are more likely to bully than boys are, which we know that. I think that's human nature. Girls like handle things differently than boys do. And then according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, 14.9% of high school students say that they've been electronically bullied. The LGBTQ community has a higher experience of being bullied. That's just the nature of our country. And of those that have experienced cyberbullying, 24% say that they've considered suicide, because it's awful. You can't escape it. Here's a quote from Germany Kent that says, there seems to be a direct correlation between the spike in suicides by young people and the increase in cyberbullying amongst young people. That's Germany Kent that said that. Strategies for teachers. Establish a no bully policy and help students understand how to handle bullying. Teach internet responsibility to all students. Hold open conversations and just don't be afraid to talk about it, because you have to talk about things. You have to be able to relate to your students, and because you're teaching them not only math and science, but how to interact with one another. You're teaching them good character. Encourage open conversation. Create a safe place for those children that are being bullied to come and talk to you about their being bullied. Involve parents and report cyberbullying when you see it happening. Monitor school issued devices in and out of the classroom, however you can. Be consistent and take every student's complaint seriously. Be approachable. I think that's most important, because if you're approachable, then you really are basically open to your students coming to you with any problems. Setting up a cyberbullying-free classroom. Hang anti-bullying posters. Talk about bullying, period. And hang up something in your classroom that says this is not permissible in my classroom. Talk to your students about bullying. Set the tone on the first day. Make anti-bullying a part of one of your lessons. Have students sign an anti-bullying class pledge on a banner and hang it on the wall. Do activities that promote class unity. Instead of allowing your students to choose their own groups, you choose the groups, because when children interact with one another, they get to know each other and they tend to bully less. Have an anonymous notes to teacher box. Do not, that's one thing I was just saying, don't allow them to pick their own groups. You pick the groups, you choose the groups based on who you feel needs to get to know one another. And keep your eyes and ears open at all times. Alabama has a new law. So you think, what can you do about cyberbullying? Well, Alabama has a new law that actually became a law on June 1st of this year. So this is the first school year that it took place. And it's a student harassment prevention law. And it's named after this young man named Jamari Terrell Williams. And he was a 10-year-old boy and a 5th grader who took his life because he was different, and they bullied him because of that. And it expands to include harassment of another student, intimidation, violence, and threats that happen off school property. Because before this, whatever happened at school, that's what you had to follow. And so, and cyberbullying. And this is the young man. This is him. He's such a cute little boy. And I hate that he took his own life because they bullied him.
Oh.
Because he was a talented dancer, and just he had all these trophies, but because he was different, they bullied him. This is another quote. Think before you click. If people do not know you personally, and if they cannot see you as you type, what you post online can be taken out of context if you are not careful in the way your message is delivered. And these are my additional resources. Thank you.